Hi YouTube, thank you so much for hanging out with me again. My name is Lily Richards. It's nice to see you guys. My channel had been dormant for over 6 years, but now I am back. And it's funny, when I left off, I was talking about my weight loss journey, and today I am talking about my weight loss journey again. I'm gonna talk about how I gained over 40 pounds in 4 months. So here it is. In October last year, I started, I had lost enough weight. I looked really good. I loved my body. And by December, I was already feeling so heavy. I couldn't wear most of my shoes. My knees hurt. I couldn't dance. I was so tired, and it just continued going downhill from then all the way to the new year. And January came, February, and finally at some point in March, I decided to see a doctor because I noticed that this cannot be normal. This is why I thought it's not normal. So at first I dismissed all the exhaustion, fatigue, weight gain, and I thought, oh, it's just because I travel so much, and when I'm traveling I'm probably eating bad food. I'm not paying so much attention to myself, and that's why I'm tired too. And the wake-up call was one time in March when I couldn't get out of bed. I was exhausted mentally, psychologically, physically. I couldn't get out of bed. That day, I was not gonna leave my bed. And so I remember calling my fiance and telling him that I don't feel okay. He had gone to work, and I told him I don't feel okay, and I don't think I'm able to even lift myself out of bed and do anything. And I made a phone call. He told me to call my doctor, which I did. I made a phone call and scheduled an appointment. And the soonest my doctor could see me was the following day. And so I made an appointment to go see my doctor the following day. So, are you still with me? Yes. So, when I went to see my doctor, a few things showed up. So, he told me that, first of all, I explained the symptoms to him. So I told him, I own this body and this does not feel like me at all. I'm a very bubbly person, happy. I like to sing, dance, and I haven't been dancing for a long time. In fact, I was out somewhere in Nairobi in December. I couldn't even dance, and that's what I love to do. So I was at a party. So my doctor asked me questions. So he was like, are you feeling like you don't want to see people, you don't want people around you? And I'm thinking, yeah, I want to be alone. And he asked me, do you feel like hurting yourself? And I said, no. And then he asked me, why not? And now at that point I was wondering, are you trying to tell me that I should be feeling like I want to hurt myself? Anyway, okay, back on track. So I said, oh, because I have so much to live for. I mean, I have a beautiful life. I have a beautiful daughter. I have an amazing man in my life. My life is just amazing. So no, I'm not trying to hurt myself. And he said, okay, that's good. So I have to have that in writing. And I'm like, okay, wow. So then he started doing all the tests. So of course they did all the blood pressure, blah blah blah, and then he checked my eyes and then checked somewhere, and he said, oh my goodness. So he said, I suspect I know the culprit already, but let's take your blood samples so that we see what's going on, and we'll also do a urine test to see if it could be, it could be diabetes, because you're showing a few things here. It could be diabetes, it could be thyroid situation, it could be iron deficiency, so we don't know. Okay, I'm like, okay, fine. So they did the tests, and he was very surprised that I brought myself to the hospital, but hey. And yeah, I went back home and waited to hear from my doctor. But there was actually something that made him even believe a lot more that it could be iron. So number one, the history of my physicals is showing that I always have that iron deficiency when I do my blood work. So for some reason my iron is always down, not really like abnormally down, but I always show a deficiency. So normally my doctor gives me a list of foods to eat to bring up my iron, right? But this time it was a little drastic, and because there was actually a culprit that was a huge contributor to my iron deficiency: hemorrhoids. Yep. I had stayed with untreated hemorrhoids for over 1 year. Not good. So I knew I had them. I had seen my doctor about it. My doctor had suggested treatment. He had even given me a referral and everything. But I felt like I'm just so busy to take time and take care of that. So I asked him for alternatives to just keep, managing these hemorrhoids. And he did prescribe some creams for me, which are what I was using, but that does not mean that I wasn't bleeding. I was bleeding, and it was bad. Sometimes it scared me, but the problem is I did not pay much attention because there was so much going on. I was always up and down. Last year was one of the busiest years of my life. I can't count 2 consecutive weekends that I was just at home. So I was up and about. And I remember in December I was home. I was in Kenya, in somewhere called Kakamega with my mom, and I actually brought this to her attention. She didn't know I have this hemorrhoid issue. So I told her, Mama, I have this issue, and I think I can see a doctor down when I'm here, because I have about 2 days that I can use for this treatment. And she called a good doctor and scheduled an appointment, but this doctor told me that I'm gonna need at least 4 days, because I'll have to go through surgery, and then I have to be in the hospital for recovery, and recovery and observation, an extra 2 to 3 days. I couldn't have that. I am sorry, but I had to be somewhere in 2 days. So I jumped out of that and decided to just go on with my life and not do anything about the hemorrhoids. They're not mine. Anyway, I went back to Nairobi, did what I was supposed to do, and then came back to America and still forgot about that issue. It's amazing when you have an issue that you can just sit on, literally. Oh God. Anyway, so I did not take care of that, and now it turns out this was the biggest culprit that was contributing to my being without enough iron, or having an iron deficiency, or being anemic. And that is the reason why I was cramping. My feet were cramping all the time. I had severe headaches. I was exhausted, fatigued. I was tired. I was dull. I was just like crampy. I didn't want anybody around me. I couldn't do things I like to do anymore. No more singing in the shower. No more screaming in the car. No more nothing. I couldn't dance in the house with my daughter. We grew up dancing together. Whew, so I was just losing me. And at that point, when the results came, it just confirmed what my doctor was already suspecting, that it is iron actually that is missing. And that's the reason why I was also gaining a lot of weight. I have never imagined someone can gain all that weight in 4 months. It was over 40 pounds. I was getting heavier and heavier every day. My feet hurt. I couldn't fit in any of my high heels. I now went back to start wearing flat shoes. I started embracing my new weight by buying clothes that are just so oversized, or kaftans. I just, I almost gave up. And then I realized I have a wedding that's coming. I need to get off my ass, and I need to start fixing myself. So I'm grateful to God that I went to see the doctor, and he gave me this iron pills, which I take one every day, and I've already taken this for 2 months. This is the third and the last month. After that, I guess I go back to the doctor to check and see if my iron levels are back to normal. And yeah, so I guess what I'm going to tell you right now is it doesn't matter how hard you're working out there. If you're not going to pay attention to your health, all your hard work is not gonna benefit you when you're gone, because people just die from things like this. And that work, the money, you leave it back and you leave it behind, but guess who's gonna miss you? Your children will miss you, and your loved ones will miss you, and you'll be gone, forgotten. So I wanted to share this with you so that you really learn and know that sometimes we have to really check and make sure that this body is functioning well and it's happy. I feel so energetic. I feel like I'm coming back nice and easy. So for my weight loss journey, I will continue talking to you. I'll do the next vlog in a week or something like that, but I will continue talking to you about what I'm now doing to fix this, because I'm now on my journey to lose weight. I need to lose at least 40 pounds before my wedding date. And so I did what I do best. I went in and I did my master cleanse, which I finished towards the end of last week. Guys, if you don't know what master cleanse is, please just go check my previous video. I did that video about 6 years ago or something, and it's so informative. That is one thing I swear by. I am not telling you to do it, but I'm just saying find something that you can do to prepare you psychologically for the weight loss journey, because if you're not prepared up here, you will not be able to do it. So for me, the master cleanse really puts me on track, and it puts me on my way. It is my starting point to weight loss, and that's what I did. My coach had suggested a 21-day cleanse, and I didn't want to go with that because I really believe in master cleanse. So I just told her that I'm gonna do the master cleanse because that's the best way I know. It's how I prepare myself. It helps me psychologically, and I believe in it so much. So I'm gonna do the master cleanse, and then when I'm done, I will dive in and start the program that way. So when I did the master cleanse and finished on Thursday, so this is what was happening. The first time I checked my weight and realized I had gained so much pound, I was actually weighing 225 pounds. So when I did the master cleanse and I checked my weight on Thursday, I was down to 211 pounds. So I think at that point I had lost about 11 pounds, which is pretty much amazing, but I know weight loss is just a side effect. What I really get from this master cleanse is that it actually sets me straight mentally, and it cleans my body and puts my body on track, ready for me to work hard. It jumpstarts my weight loss, and that's what I want from it. The weight loss is fine, but I'm not gonna count so much on that weight loss. I'm gonna count on the weight that I lose from now on. And guys, stay with me because I'll keep blogging. I'll share all this. I'll share my journey. I'll share what I'm doing, what I'm eating, and how I'm going and how I'm losing weight. So today, on Thursday, I weighed at 211. So let's see what happens the next time I weigh in, which will be in about 3 weeks. I'll give myself time before I do, before I check the weight, because I don't want to do it too often. It's scary, people. It's scary. So again, this video is over. Please follow my journey, subscribe, and the next video will be about my wedding and what I'm doing, the plans and all of that. As you know, it's me against Corona, but I believe it can be done and it will be done. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah. Bye.